So, Andrei, I think that you can tell by the warm reception that we're very, very happy to have you here and so grateful that you're here in person with us. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And we also want to acknowledge Noah and thank you, Noah, for being here as well. So, Andrei, you are originally from Russia, and you were only in Israel for about a year before October 7th, and you were working as a security guard at the Nova Music Festival when you were kidnapped into Gaza. And I think many of us have asked ourselves the question about what we would do if we were in that situation, how we would get through and how we would survive. So I want to start off by talking about that and ask you how you got through your 8 months of captivity.
We spent there 8 months in 8 different places. And October 7 was the most terrible, the worst day in my life. And 8 months as well, the same, because you're afraid to die every single day. Almost every day you hear bombs and war outside. The first 2 months we spent in chains, 20 centimeters between arms and around 50 between legs. So you are trapped. And you feel that you can die every day. And when you understand, in several weeks, we accepted this fact that we are hostages and we are not able to control anything, I understood that only one thing that I can control is what's going on inside of me. So I started to pray, I started to convince myself mentally, like manifest, that everything soon will be okay, because nothing lasts forever. Every day I try to do some sport, every day I try to keep my mind clean, to convince myself that soon I will be home.
And you maintained hope during that time.
Yeah.
And you were held
That's only one thing that we had.
You were held in several different places, and in fact, one of your captors was actually a journalist. Is that right?
Yeah, that we found out only afterwards.
Yeah. So the morning of June 8th, 2024, you shared with me that you were reading a book, and all of a sudden you heard gunshots outside, and the windows shattered of the home that you were in. And just moments later, the IDF came into the home, killing your captors, and there to rescue you. So can you tell us from your perspective what happened next and what that rescue was like for you?
A couple of days before June 8th, I was thinking that probably we will be released in several months. I was thinking about November, already February. So I was reading some book, and suddenly we understood that there are some explosions, some shooting outside, and in 20 seconds we realized that in front of us already IDF soldiers who recently killed terrorists. For me, they chose one guy who is able to speak Russian, and he told me some introductions.
They brought him special for you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So he explained us, me, and other guys, they explained to Almog and Shlomi what we need to do. 2 meters in front, 2 meters behind. We tell you what to do, you do. So
You're not messing around.
Yeah. And on October 7, we didn't have any choice. During these 8 months, no choice, and in June 8. So you have to,
listen to directions and follow their
lead. So we did a fist bump.
Right, the famous fist
like, let's do this. And I'm like, oh my God, let's do this. So yeah, I'm not able to say some secret information, but there were like several stages. They everybody who did it for us, I mean soldiers, we saw their eyes. They were so happy to do this because they felt that they will succeed. Everybody tried to support us, to give us some more hope, and they gave us some Coke, some sugar, we need energy, and everybody tried to היום בערב הביתה. That means today in evening you will be home. And they told us 1 minute until next stage, 2 minutes until next stage, and finally 3 minutes until helicopter. So when I realized that we go to helicopter, and I already saw some soldiers outside of tank who were without helmets, so for me it means that it's safety place. I started to breathe. After all of this time, I realized that 5 minutes and I will be somewhere in the sky and flying to home. So if to be brief, it was the best day of my life.
You actually describe it as your third birthday. What does that mean?
Yeah, I get used to say that I had already 3 birthdays in my life. October 7, when I, fortunately for me, survived, and June 8, when they took me back from this journey.
Speaking of birthdays, so June 9th was your grandmother's birthday. She turned 86 years old. So the best birthday present she could have gotten was getting you home.
It was June 8th, so 8.6. She became 86 on next day. And afterwards, I didn't wait until June 9. I called her in June 8. And
I think she probably understood. Yeah. And you had this amazing, very emotional reunion with your mom where you literally dropped to your knees when you saw her and wept at her feet. And after your rescue, you spent a lot of time with your family, obviously, and you've talked about being very close with your family, and you traveled around and spent time with them and spent months rehabilitating and taking care of yourself. And then you said to your family, I love you a lot, but I need a little time alone. And so you decided to come to the States, and you did some healing through art. So tell us about that process and about your art.
Yeah. First time in New York, I came in August, and I was introduced with the artist who is Israeli but who lives in Los Angeles. His name is Tomer Peretz. And we started to talk. He's an artist, so he invited me to LA to do some art therapy. He's not professional, but he is such a good man, so you feel that you want to be his friend. And he gave you a freedom, and I started to work in his studio in October. And I realized that, of course, I can speak about this. Of course, I can talk about it a lot. But of course, I have limits of energy. And I decided to express myself, to tell the story through art. Why? I was drawing since my childhood, most of the time with just a pencil and paper. 6 years ago, I started with oil paint. And in Gaza, during this time, I begged him to bring me some papers. They gave me little album, 14 pages, and just a pencil and eraser. So I became able to draw. So I started to spend time with something useful. And I promised myself that I will use it when I get back. So now it will be, hopefully, in April exhibition.
You have an exhibit with several pieces. Do you want to tell us a little bit about this one?
Yeah.
It's on the side screens, they can see it.
Yeah, this one, it's my first one that I did in October. It took around a couple of weeks. And why? Because of the June. In June, I told millions of times to everybody that it was, hey, this is 8 months. it was other part of the mirror, and I was like in parallel universe. So how to express this is explanation. This is how I felt.
Well, it's very, very powerful and beautiful, and I know that many of us will hope to come to New York or Israel to see your exhibit and support you and see the other amazing works that you've done. I know that you join me in prayers for all of the other hostages to come home as soon as possible, and we just all want to wish you a very happy, healthy, long, safe, wonderful life. And we're so appreciative that you were here. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Andrei Kozlov.
Thank you.